Howdy, I'm Dr. Michael Buser. I graduated from Oklahoma State University in 1995 with a BS in Biosystems Engineering. I went back and got my master's in Biosystems Engineering in 1997. So I was born in 1970 in Chickasha, Oklahoma. My father was in the oil industry, so we did move across the state a little bit, and then graduated high school in Owasso, Oklahoma. When I grew up, there were 4 channels on the TV, so all we knew was OSU and OU, and there was no way my family was letting me go to OU, so it was OSU all the way. I met my best friend here at Oklahoma State University, and that would have been my wife, Susie. We met here on campus in April of 1994, and in August of 1995, we were married here on campus in Bennett Chapel. We have 4 children. My oldest son, Guy, and his wife, Amaris, live in Owasso, Oklahoma. My oldest daughter, Kaylee, and her husband, John, live in Florida. My youngest son, Jake, is here at Oklahoma State and is in his freshman year. And my youngest daughter, Riley Buser, is a freshman at College Station High School. We've moved around a little bit over our careers, but we've come back to Stillwater many, many times. So we have a lot of fantastic memories here at Oklahoma State. The Biosystems and Ag Engineering department is just an incredible place to be a part of. It's a huge family. In fact, when I first went over to the department, I met Marge Johnson that was there at the time, and I didn't hardly say anything to Marge except that she reached out, gave me a big old hug and said, "Let's go meet the faculty." She took me up and down every hall in the old Ag Hall building. I met every faculty member that day. They stopped what they did and they told me what they were doing, and they made me feel like I was a part of the family. Dr. Glenn Brown, that was here at the time, brought me in as an undergrad student worker, and we worked on a project for Sandia National Labs to where we did the mechanical designs, the electronic designs, and then we built it, designed it, tested it, and it got deployed. It was fantastic for an undergraduate student to be a part of that. After I got my bachelor's, I had the unique opportunity of getting to work with Dr. Marvin Stone. Dr. Stone was just an incredible individual, internationally recognized, just an incredible mentor. So throughout my career, I've had just incredible opportunities. I would say going after my bachelor's degree, getting the opportunity to get my master's here was a fantastic opportunity to get to spend time with Dr. Stone, also Dr. John Soley and Dr. Richard Whitney. Those 3 hired me as a research engineer to work on a specialty crops research project. Whenever I got done here with my master's and started looking for my first job outside of Oklahoma State University, it was an Oklahoma State University grad student that called me up and wanted to know if I had any interest in working for USDA Agricultural Research Service. And this individual's name was Dr. Derek Whitelock. Susie and I went down to Stoneville, Mississippi and visited with Dr. Whitelock, and Stanley Anthony, the research leader at the time there, hired me to come be a research scientist. This was, at the time you don't think about these things. But looking back, that was an incredible opportunity because most Category 1 scientists within USDA have a PhD. I did not, I had a master's. So getting that opportunity to come in there was fantastic. After that, it took about 12 months before I figured out that I had to have 3 additional letters after my name. And so I was able to get a deal worked out with USDA ARS to go back in and get my PhD. At the time, I had the incredible opportunity of going down to Texas A&M University to get my PhD under Dr. Calvin Parnell. So I got my PhD there. After we finished up at A&M, I went up to Lubbock, Texas, working for the USDA ARS cotton ginning lab there. Spent maybe 9 years, designed, developed, and created probably one of the top air quality labs in the country. We had the incredible opportunity to conduct some of the largest air quality studies around agricultural operations. In 2009, coming back from an American Society of Agricultural and Biological Engineers meeting, I sat next to Doug Hamilton, one of the current biological and ag engineering faculty members, and Doug said, "Are you ready to come home?" And what I heard was, "Are you ready to get back home?" And I said, "Yes, it's been a long meeting. I'm ready to get back home." And Doug looked at me and said, "No, I mean, are you ready to get back home and come back to Stillwater?" Whenever I got back, I did send my CV and stuff back over to Dr. Elliott, that was department head at the time. And this was probably the middle of July. By Labor Day, I was on faculty, and my family and I had moved back to Stillwater, Oklahoma to be on faculty. And of course, this is one of the dream roles, right? You get to come back to Oklahoma State University, a place where you got your undergrad, got your master's. You get to be in the role. I sat in Dr. Stone's office whenever where he was when he joined the faculty. I got to work hand in hand with Dr. Stone. Even though he was retired, he was still very active. So just an incredible opportunity, one of those things that Susie and I said at the time, this is where we're going to retire and we'll never leave. 9 years later, we get the opportunity to go back to USDA Agricultural Research Service, only this time in Washington, D.C. We got to go through and be the first national program leader for engineering for USDA ARS. In that role, I had the opportunity to manage or co-manage roughly 91 projects out across the country. The operating budget was somewhere in the neighborhood of $206 million annually. We had ARS programs underneath my management that included the hydraulics engineering lab here at Stillwater, Oklahoma. We had some of the labs that were in El Reno, Oklahoma. We also had the rangeland management unit up in Woodward, Oklahoma. So for me, it was incredible to be able to have within my research portfolio those ARS labs here in Oklahoma. While I was there, I had another incredible opportunity, and that was to become a division director for NIFA, the competitive grants side of USDA, and I did that for about 6 or 7 months in an acting role. Really gave me a good perspective on how the funding mechanisms really function within USDA on the competitive grants side. And then about a year ago, a little over a year ago, the cotton industry came back in and said, we really need an endowed cotton chair at Texas A&M University. So last April, I put my application in, and Susie and I moved to College Station in November of 2023. You know, I don't know that I've fully digested what this award means to me. I mean, it's just an incredible honor. When we think about 120 to 130 folks since I think the 1950s that have received this award, to be one of those that has been selected to hold that honor is just absolutely amazing. To me, I think part of this goes back to possibly where does the legacy go? And to me, that legacy is always going to be that next generation. What can I do to take some of the passion that I have about what I do today, and how can I instill that on our next generation of engineers? Oklahoma State University to me means family. It always will. The Biosystems and Ag Engineering Department was just an incredible family to me, my wife, my kids, and I think it's the entire community. I mean, it's more than just that department. Go Pokes!